Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today we will ask what crowns you. What is your royalty, your defining characteristics and traits that make you powerful in this world that you need to tune into? Let's adjust that crown for you, okay? This is a pick an object tarot reading, so take a look at all three of the groups on screen after you ask in your head or out loud, what crowns me? And select whichever one of these groups you feel most drawn to. Not necessarily which object is the most prettiest, but the one that your eye keeps going back to. This is definitely a reading where you could feel drawn to more than one group, maybe even all three groups. So if you feel pulled into multiple groups, that's totally fine. We have group number 1 with the rose, group number 2 with the lantern, and group number 3 with the pocket watch. Once you've selected your group, you can either watch through or skip ahead to your reading using the timestamps. Thank you all so much for subscribing to this channel, liking all the videos, commenting your thoughts and stories down below. Those are the simplest ways that you can support this channel and this community here. If you want to take it a step further, you can also leave a donation. Link to that is always in the description box, or you could head over to my website, spiritpsychic.org, again, always in the description, and you can get yourself a personal reading one-on-one with me, a spiritual life coaching session, which is essentially an hour-long reading once a week, and daily email correspondence, and you can ask about any topic, question, anything that's on your mind. Beautiful format. There's no booking for that. Like, you don't have to wait. You don't have to set a certain day in your schedule. You will get your weekly readings sent to you. Okay, they're personalized just for you. And you can also go to my apothecary on my website to get an intention oil. I have 3 intention oils up right now: the Goddess Energy oil, the Third Eye Open oil, and the Money and Abundance oil. You use these intention oils to anoint yourself or objects to radiate that energy of the oil that you buy. And they're handcrafted per order with your energy in mind, with ingredients that are known to be aligned with the intention behind the oil. So it's very powerful stuff. Highly recommend it. Thank you all for your support. Let's get into the reading now. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. We're going to see what crowns you. What is your superpower? Who are you? Who are you? What are your greatest qualities? And by tuning into these qualities, you'll unlock your greatest power. I just want to get to know you guys a little bit, so that's why I wanted to do this reading. So let's see what comes out for you. What is your crowning energy? Okay, we have Thanatos. I'm gonna have to read about that because that's one of those weird cards. We have the Lamb coming out. I don't read these in reversal sometimes, so we'll take that upright. Beautiful Lamb spirit. We have the Dormouse. We're gonna do a lot of reading in your pile, literal reading from the book, to see what these cards are all about. We have All That Glitters. Beautiful. We have Quest with the throat chakra. Right off the bat, I could tell that you guys came here with a special mission. Like, you literally came to Earth with a special mission. So we're going to learn more about that. And the one tarot card that wanted to come out to summarize your crown, your crowning energy, is the 6 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Selflessness, generosity, complete and utter care for humanity, for Earth, for the people here. You guys definitely came here to help out, to help humanity evolve and ascend and get back in touch with harmony. You definitely are a very evolved and old soul that has lived many lifetimes in many realms as many different species. And I feel like your soul's origin, or the place where your soul spent the most time, is definitely in these higher realms. Okay, I'm getting a sort of angelic selflessness sort of energy from you. So a lot of you are what are known as earth angels. these sort of light beings that are selfless, egoless. Okay, you're just an energy. It's not that you're egoless to the point where you just have no personality. I mean, on a core level, we're all connected. We're all the same energy. We're all, I energy. I don't know how else to put it. We energy. But I feel like your soul definitely comes from a realm where there's no form. It's not physical like in this realm on this planet. It's very much just energy. There's not even really a spoken language. It's just the language of energy. And I feel like that energy spirit that is you is dancing. It's just like your energy is playful, dancing, and just spreading so much light and love and fun, happy, spunky energy wherever you go, which is incredible. But you definitely have had many, many lifetimes. You feel to be an old soul. I just am immediately getting that sense. And I feel like you more so incarnated onto this planet to help facilitate change and healing. We all have our own karma, our own karmic reasons for being here, things that'll help us, balance out this realm, this earth, because of our own past doings, for sure. And some of us do incarnate onto earth simply for karmic reasons, to sort of undo our wrongs and, get what is owed to us, etc. But I feel like you came here more for spiritually ascending reasons, to sort of assist. So I'm going to actually read to you what Thanatos means, because it is extremely deep. And this is from the Archetypes Oracle deck from the Wild Unknown. And this is a whole deck of so many different archetypes. And this one, it's otherwise known as death, okay? And here's what it says. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as transformation, but the true archetypal resonance of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash upon our heart, signifying that we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. When this card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. Wow, this is deep stuff, guys. Okay, first and foremost, I feel that your soul is one that marches straight into shadows fearlessly. Very, very brave. Okay. In this lifetime, most of you who selected group number 1 has probably had multiple serious brush-ups with death. Okay. Literally. I'm talking like near-death experiences, weird accidents. Maybe even when you were younger, you were just going to a lot of funerals. Some of you, I'm seeing, grew up in an environment where it's like people were dying left and right around you. And it's like you were going to more funerals and hospital visits than weddings and births and all of that. Also, I am seeing brush-ups with like mental health throughout your life. I'm going back like beyond this lifetime. This may sound weird for some of you, but I feel like you actually have past lives as like an entire species of mushroom. Hear me out here for a second. So if you don't know how mushrooms work, they're really, really cool. I honestly feel that, I know that mushrooms are more intelligent than humans and animals and plants, because they spread via spores. So every breath that you take, you're breathing in like millions of mushroom spores, or a lot, I don't know the exact measurement, but a ton of mushroom spores. You breathe it in, you breathe it out. It is all around us. Okay, and mushrooms, if you think about it, are kind of farming humans. Okay, because what do they eat? They eat deceased, dead, decaying things. And they turn that decay back into the soils that allow birth and growth and fertility and prosperity to happen. And so I feel like your crowning feature is that your soul resonates as life and death itself. And your soul, your spirit, your intelligence is consciously aware of the fact that death and life, death and birth are not two opposites. They are both the same thing. And I feel like your soul has mastered the wisdom of balance. And I'm getting this sort of dark, underworld, yet etheric, light angel energy. It's like you are this light being, this earth angel. And when you think of like an angel, you think of light, you think of purity, untouched, clean, but it's almost like you are this edgy warrior who marches straight into the underworld. And by the way, when I use the word underworld, I'm talking about the lower world, which is not necessarily a dark and evil place like a lot of Abrahamic religions will have us believe. It is a place where memory and earth energy and the past is stored, okay? So it's not a bad thing. And with the past, also comes trauma and that sort of darkness, so that energy does exist there as well. But I feel like you are almost like this edgy sort of underworld, like almost god-like energy, which has mastered the balance of life and death. And I feel like a lot of you will find yourself in a position in this life where you exist at this cusp. So a lot of you may work in hospitals, okay, where yes, you are constantly around sickness and death, but you are also creating healing and birth and restoration, because again, they're two sides of the same thing, and you are this beautiful light spirit who has mastered that. A lot of you may also be into metaphysics and psychic work similar to what this is right here, for sure. Even maybe at points in your life, you were very, very fascinated with the occult and things like paranormal activities, aliens, these other beings, and even like fairies, which this is from the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. So we'll get to that in a second. At multiple points in your life, you may have been sort of like obsessed with things like that because, again, they match your vibration. They also exist at this cusp of physical and metaphysical, physical and spiritual. So that is beautiful. I feel also that it says here, you have bared witness to all that is. I feel like a lot of you, selected group number 1, had a very intense spiritual awakening or shamanic initiation, okay? And you have experienced what I was having a hard time describing, like all that is, the divine oneness of everything and everyone. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I don't know how else to describe this. I feel, though, that, to get to this point where you were able to consciously integrate this into your being, you had to go through a ton of hardships, okay? But the funny thing is, your soul low-key kind of chose to go through those hardships before you were born, because those were the experiences that you needed, A, to work through a lot of karma that you may have had, and B, turn you into the person who you really are, to have you remember who you are as a soul, as a spirit. So really interesting. It's almost like you had to have your heart broken and go through major mourning and loss and mental health issues, maybe even physical issues, in order to, like, it's like you had your heart broken so many times that, like, the outer shell of your heart has fallen away, and all that's left is this complete and utter peace and connection to spirit and all that is, and really, really seeing the beauty in life way more than other people do. And sometimes you may doubt this message, but then I feel like you'll talk to other people, you'll see how they're living their life, the choices they're making, and then you're like, oh yeah, you know what, actually, I think I might have it all together. I feel like we all doubt ourselves and what we're doing on life. Like we all think, oh, we're so behind, like we're so awful, blah, blah, blah. But then I feel like there's moments where you just see how other people are choosing to live their lives. And then you're just reminded, you know what, maybe I do have this life thing figured out more than most people. We even have the lamb spirit here, which is very, like, lambs are used in sacrifice a lot, very sacrificial, and just beautiful, kind, gentle spirits that just give so abundantly to the planets, you know? And I feel for a lot of you, it's just, I don't know how else to describe it other than your soul seeks that perfect balance, perfect harmony between life and death. And you may have had past lives, I'm seeing, some sort of predatory animal. Like I'm literally seeing jaguars, tigers, like these very fierce, spiritually connected animals. And in this lifetime, a part of your karma, a part of creating karmic balance for yourself may have involved you sort of being the victim of certain wrongdoings, or it may have taken you a while. It just feels like, how do I put this? You were so innocent, pure, naive in your earlier years. And it may have taken you a while to learn how to tune and tap back into that jaguar, tiger, big cat type of energy to protect yourself and be fierce, because you are this pure and beautiful and radiant soul. And how do I even put this? It's like you tuned so heavily into that purity in the beginning half of your life that you became the victim in a lot of circumstances. But weirdly enough, becoming the victim and being this like sort of sacrificial martyr to help other people have their character growth and development, you know? Have you ever been in friendships or relationships where, you know, it may break off and you're like, wow, they had so much growth, so much development because I was in their life and I got nothing but trauma from it. Those sort of connections and experiences you may have had, A, to help them heal, of course, but B, it actually helped balance your own soul out, because in past lives, like I said, you were this fierce predator. So it sort of brought that sort of the scales of karma and the circle of life into balance. And I feel like once that karma is paid off, which for a lot of you it is already by the time that you're watching this, you're really going to have another, like a second spiritual awakening where you're free soul, you're a free spirit, and you really hone in to this energy of like complete balance and peace. And I don't know how else to put it. It's just like when bad things happen to you, when the ebbs and flows happen, you're at peace because you know that it's a temporary moment, and without the challenges in life, you wouldn't have the positive side of life. And, you know, vice versa. You're able to enjoy a peaceful state of mind even when there's thrilling, exciting things going on. And you don't cling to that good feeling. You know, you let it come. And you know that these energies come in waves. And you no longer are so zoomed into this earthly experience that your moods are all over the place and everything's fluctuating. And you know, you feel out of control. You are now living your life from like a sort of higher place where you're just peaceful. You know, I always say to people, never strive to be happy, strive to be at peace, because happiness is always a temporary emotion. Ecstasy is a temporary emotion. And how can you say, oh yeah, I'm going to be happy for the rest of my life? It's impossible. You know, when you're in love, you're going to be dealt an equal amount of endings, loss, heartbreak, suffering. That's the way of life. It doesn't mean that you should avoid love and happiness and good things. I just think that life becomes a lot more pleasant and enjoyable when you strive for peace. And I feel like that's your soul. And that's where you're going to get to if you're not there already. Just this complete and utter peace. And I feel like a lot is going to relax. Your health is going to improve once you get to this point. A lot of you are already stepping into this energy, I feel, especially for the past few weeks and months. I just feel that intuitively. And you're going to stay in this space. And I see a lot of you reaching a point of what is called self-actualization in psychology, in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There's like different needs that to be met. It's very, very, very similar from the chakra system, or to the chakra system. And it's like once all of these needs are met, you reach this point of self-actualization where you really just radiate this energy. You know, if I could give you an example, like Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, they radiated that. Jimi Hendrix, they radiated this self-actualized energy of being just like, I don't know, it's just something you feel. Like you feel like they're just super connected and so far advanced beyond their years, and just being around these people and their influence and the way they talk makes you feel like a smarter, healed, happier, loved version. It's like God energy. That's what you're going to get to. That's what you're going to radiate if you're not already at that point. Okay, and very, 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 very few people make it to that point in their lifetime. You know, it's kind of sad because there is a very large amount of souls in this earth who are sort of slaves to their karma and slaves to just the illusions of this planet that they keep reincarnating over and over and over again. At least this is my observations as a psychic medium. And I almost got stuck in this cycle myself because I had a really trippy near-death experience one time. And I literally I saw Vishnu, and I was going to get kissed into my next life as a goose. And when I had this experience, I was literally an agnostic person who did not believe in anything. There's a lot more to that story and what happened before that and after that. I'm not going to dive into it because this is your reading. But there's a large percentage of souls that get stuck, sort of bound to reincarnation and the suffering on this planet, trying to figure it out. And you are a very powerful, free-spirited person, a free soul. And I almost view you as this sort of like backpacker throughout galaxies and the universe, different realms and species, like I said. Like you're totally unafraid to go marching straight into the shadows and spread your light there. And so I feel like you came here because you felt a sort of pity for the very large percentage of souls that keep getting stuck over and over and over again, reincarnating, trying to create that balance that we just described, that you are creating in this life for yourself. And, you know, you're just really selfless. You know, I feel that when you're a soul and you're in these higher realms and it's just complete peace and connection and prosperity and those beautiful feelings of love, it's like, why would you want to leave? But I feel like you wanted to leave. Like you frequently leave because you're just a little angsty soul who loves stimulation. And like I said, you're very selfless. And also, why wouldn't you want to come to Earth? You know, why wouldn't you want to see the mountains again and taste the food and enjoy the love and the snuggles and the physical blessings of life? I feel so high off your energy, guys. Before I started your reading, I was like just having a really normal day. Like I was planning my week ahead. You know, I was snacking, and then I start your reading and I feel like I just got out of like a 3-hour long meditation, and there's like chamomile tea brewing in my veins, and I'm just relaxed. I can't stop smiling. This is that energy that I was trying to explain with self-actualized people. It's like you're high off of God energy, source energy around these people. And if you are not at that level yet, you will be at that level for the majority of your life, not just like for like 2 last years of it, like the majority of your life, because this is what you came here to do. This is the energy you came here to spread and help people. So very, very beautiful. And listen, let's stay humble, y'all. I feel like I don't even have to tell you to stay humble though, because I feel like your soul spent so much time in these egoless planes where like there wasn't even anything such as names or like major distinctions, labels, things like that. Like you come from a place where you literally are just your energy that you radiate. So really interesting. Okay. Let's read about the Dormouse card here. This is from the Fairy Wisdom Oracle, and the keyword here is home. The Dormouse card can represent your home or a place where you feel the happiest or the safest. The physical body is also the home for your soul, and at times can be reflected in this card. It can also be about family, close relationships, and childhood memories. It speaks of goals you may have for your home, moving, renovating, or redecorating. It also encompasses the yard and gardens. In order to determine what it is that you're being asked to focus on, relax for a moment and sense what comes to mind. Pay attention to your feelings. Where are they guiding you? What emotion does this card bring up? Go with the feeling and ask, what is this about? What do I need to look at again and why? Perhaps you need to clear a childhood trauma from your aura. It may be that you need to revisit a pleasant, carefree memories of your youth. Sorry, excuse me, guys. If you are unhappy with your surroundings, it might be that it is time to change residence. Sometimes the energy of a home does not support your comfort and well-being. Sometimes a home just needs to be cleansed. It needs to be in order and clean, but also smudged and cleansed on a spiritual level. Light a smudge stick, say a prayer, or sprinkle salt or water, and walk slowly through the rooms. Ring chimes or bells, or clap your hands, or drum in all the rooms to break up the stagnant energy. If you choose, just visualize all of these things. You can also ask that your helping friends from the other realms cleanse the house and property for you. Your physical body, the home of your soul, also needs to be kept clean and in good running order. Do the things that are good for your well-being on all levels. Home is where the heart is. Okay, I want to pause because a lot came through as I was reading that. First and foremost, a lot of you are home people. Okay, you feel like home first and foremost, but you really pride yourself on your home. One of your biggest dreams and goals in life may be surrounding the home, the type of home that you own or rent, or just how you keep a garden, or an apartment, whatever your vibe is for home, whatever that looks like for you, even if it's a van that travels across the world. Home is very important for you. Another thing that I was seeing with that is for almost all of you watching, there's something about your hometown and the family that you grew up in. And you know what? I want to say to group number one, it is safe for you to not strongly identify with the place that you grew up and the family that you grew up in. You can love your family, you can hate them, but it is okay if you do not feel super well adjusted to the family, to the place that you grew up in. And for a lot of you who select group number one, it feels like your hometown or your family just does not 100% resonate with the frequency and the vibration of your soul. I feel like you are this very deep person, so much depth and a lot of personality, a lot of zest, okay? Probably a really good sense of humor and very sharp intelligence. And to me, it feels like your family or the hometown you grew up in doesn't really match up with that. A lot of you may have oftentimes been the smartest person in the room, for example, growing up in school, or feeling outcasted in some sort of way. It feels like you have your specialties, okay? Some of you may be incredibly intelligent, but it's like the way you look at knowledge may have been so different from people that you grew up around. For example, like you may have gone to school and everyone prioritized good grades, getting, your homework done, etc. And you may have been the smartest person in the whole school, but you were so smart to the point where you maybe thought to yourself, I love learning. I want to learn the material, but, what's the point in doing homework if I already have all the material memorized? Like, you didn't care about grades, you didn't care about fitting into this sort of human programming, these very specific molds for what a fully functioning human looks like. You saw past that your entire life. Okay, and it's not something that you can be taught. It's just something that you have to have. You've always been a free thinker. And so I just feel like the place you grew up in or the family you grew up around really is so different than like so different from you. And it's not per se that they limited your growth and development, but perhaps you didn't quite realize your full potential because you weren't around people or places that really matched your vibration. Because when you're around other people that match your vibration, it amplifies it tremendously. You know, for example, when I'm around other people who are psychic or spiritually inclined, I just have messages come through so often. I start having really psychic dreams and these intense experiences because the energy is amplified. You know, when I'm around people who are funny, I come up with better jokes. Like I'm so much faster on with my words, you know what I mean? Things like that. Energy amplifies like energy. And I feel like you didn't have much similar energy around you for the longest time. And so for a while, it may have felt like you were really on your own in life, or you had to manifest like everything by yourself. Like you had to work, climb your way out of your reality that you were in, tooth and nail, your traumas, your challenges. You had to climb your way out of it like completely on your own, it felt like. But so yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing for a lot of you, your life journey may involve finding a place that really matches your energy or creating a place that really matches your energy. For example, like I don't necessarily have my dream home. I manifested my dream living situation for the time being, but not my like dream home. However, this location that I'm at, I wanted it to feel more like me. And slowly but surely, I'm painting every room in this house pink. And there's cats, and it's filled with plants and art everywhere, beautiful music constantly playing, friends over all the time. It feels very much aligned with me. And I feel like you're very similar in that regard. So, beautiful energy there. All right, then we have all that glitters. I guess I'm just going to read all this and just dive really, really deep into this whole reading. Okay, the number 16 or 28 may be significant for you guys, may have been born on that date, may have significant anniversaries or things on that date. It's only human to want to adorn oneself in trinkets and paint a pretty picture of oneself. For a lot of you, I feel like the way you adorn your body is also spiritually inclined. A lot of you select group number 1 may have a distinct way of dressing, or you may be into makeup or hair, or you take pride in the way that you appear, or like the way that you appear physically is very unique and really catches people's eyes, and it is a part of you. It's natural to want to acquire the trappings of status or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing. Or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. This card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface, learn to recognize the masks people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all that glitters is gone. Would you still desire the object or person? You know what this is reminding me of? I feel like in my readings, everything ties together. If it's windy out, that has a message. If there's like a bird outside, that's a message. Earlier today, I was literally just chatting with someone, and we were talking about someone that I know. And I was saying, this person grew up really wealthy, and they're a very spiritual person, and I felt like it's almost like they moved really far backwards in life in an act of rebellion to sort of prove to themselves, or I guess the people around them, that they didn't need wealth to make a life for themselves. So they literally went from having a great job that their parents helped them get and sort of primed them for, that made great money, owning their own house, having a great community of people around them, And then it just felt like they sort of rejected all of that. They sold their house, spent all of their money, started renting a really crappy apartment, got a really basic job that like a teenager would have. And to someone like me, that felt like moving backwards in life, okay? Because I grew up in the exact opposite situation where I had no money and no support, and I had to like climb my way out of that so harshly. And I was like, it's kind of funny that they're trying to show the world like I don't need money, because in a way that is equally as materialistic as someone who wants to flash their money, get this expensive sports cars, all the designer brands just for the show of it. It's equally materialistic to reject the wealth and all that. I was just talking about that earlier, and I don't know why this is resonating with your reading, why this is coming up in your reading. I bet that is a lesson that your soul either had to learn or will learn soon. And you'll definitely know that if that resonates with anyone in your life. Like if there's anyone you were close to or had an emotional connection to, whether friend, family, lover, whatever, and that sounds like their story, like either wealthy and like trying so hard to reject that wealth, or completely like going from poor to trying to show off their wealth, that may be a reflection of something within yourself that needs healing and adjusting. The real glitter, the real wealth is on the inside. That was another thing I was pondering today too. I was thinking about different family members. And, one person that I know, like they went to school and they have a great job now, but it's like they acquired a lot of debt. They have a house, again, a lot of debt. And, their lifestyle is, I guess you could say, the ideal lifestyle for the average person. And I was thinking to myself, here I am making substantially less money and substantially less degrees, no degrees other than high school. And I almost view myself in comparison to that person more wealthy, even though I'm totally broke. And that person literally owns a house and, has a great job and all that stuff. Like, they can't afford vacations and they're stressed. They have health issues, all these responsibilities on their shoulders. And here I am. And while I may not have that much money, I also don't have that much debt. And I also don't have that much stress. And responsibility, I'm responsible for what I've created in this world. So I don't know, there may be a lesson to be learned there for you guys, that money isn't necessarily everything. And I mean that in both ways, if you have a lot of it and a little bit of it. So really interesting. Your beauty lies within though. And I feel like you adorning your body, by the way, does not mean that you're materialistic at all. Okay. And I can't stand people who think that. Like, no, it's an artistic expression of your soul and who you are, if you feel, because your soul is this sort of like underworld goddessy / god, like angelic sort of presence with many past lives as jaguars and tigers, but also lambs and things to balance out that circle of life. Lambs and mice, things to keep your soul nice and balanced. And you know what? There's certain ways that you can dress and decorate your home and like present yourself that really makes you feel aligned with who your soul is. And that's not materialistic. That is self-expression. That's throat chakra energy. So, beautiful messages. Okay, we have the messenger of air coming through. I don't know why Hermes just came through really strongly. Any messenger gods or goddesses of communication, Mercury, maybe significant spirit guides for you at this time. I work with Hermes all the time. I love him. Kokopelli, these beautiful deities of travel, business, okay, a lot of things. They may work with you. They're also very funny, I feel. Very lighthearted, friendly, flirty. And this is your energy as well. Okay. People love talking to you and being around your energy. You have really great ideas. You're a free thinker, like I said. Oh, wow. We have the Emperor coming out, and look at that with the big cat energy. I told you. We have the Six of Water, very nostalgic. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are Leos or Cancers. You don't have to be, though. We have the Three of Earth in reverse. We had the Five of Fire in reverse. Yeah. Some of you guys in your lifetime may have had to overcome abandonment wounds. Okay, because, I feel like your soul is very comfortable with being alone. I feel like literally as a soul, you have had no problem hopping around place to place, by yourself or with your soulmates, Soulmates being friends of the soul. It's almost like you can, in a way, make friends anywhere you go, but at the same time, you can be reclusive or introverted at times as well, which is really, really interesting. But I don't know, I'm sort of getting this sort of like sticky energy, a fear of people not treating you right, loving you right. Sometimes you get hit with these like existential crises where you feel like you're everything in the universe, connected like to everyone and everything, which is extremely, fulfilling socially. And then at other times you're in that same exact energy, but it's just you, and you're the only thing in existence, and it's isolating. Isn't that a weird thought? Wow, you guys are really deep. Like I said, you have a lot of depth. We're getting real philosophical here. I love it. The Emperor shows that a lot of you may be business owners. I'm seeing, or some sort of manager or higher up, like leader in your career, in your lifetime. I am seeing that in a really strong, prominent position. And this is a major arcana card, by the way, so this is a really prominent position. Really well known. We're doing a ton of work on this planet. Okay, Six of Waters, and Six of Waters with the Dormouse. You definitely came here to connect with soulmates too, though, and reconnect with your soul family. Like I said, you're sort of this hitchhiker of the multiverse, and you're not afraid to like incarnate into lives alone. And by alone, I mean like, without people or without souls that and love. But a lot of your beautiful soulmates have incarnated with you in this lifetime, trying to reconnect with you and bring you back home or create home on this planet for the time being. Home is a feeling within for souls. Beautiful. Yeah, you know what? I feel like we're coming to a natural end to this reading, so I'm just gonna stop it there. You're really, really important on this planet, really beautiful. And there's something very nostalgic and deep, wonderful. If you want to tune into your crown, into your power on this earth, just remember that you are literally this super high vibrational light being, god/goddess of this of like death itself, of not even just death, life and death, mushroom energy, divine balance energy. I feel like you guys were present for the creation of the universe, legitimately. Like, I think you are one of the key members, one of the key pieces of thread in this tapestry of life. And you are so much more powerful than I think you'll ever realize in this human lifetime. And even if you do remember how powerful you are, I feel like it's not going to go to your head. Because again, like, you've seen the fullness, the balance, the thanatos of life. And that's where your soul operates and vibrates at. And you literally just came here to be in that natural energy of yours, to be at home in your own energy, because that energy is contagious. All energy is contagious. And you came here purely as this source of healing and light to bring balance back to the planet, because you are not super happy about the amount of souls that keep, being stuck here. Okay, well, it stopped filming. I don't know where I left off, but I was going to finish up anyway. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and my spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome. Let's see where your crown is. Who are you? What are your empowered traits that you need to be reminded of? Let's figure it out. We have the Temple coming out. Beautiful. I already have a feeling that this is going to go in a certain direction. We have the Panther. Oh my gosh. Right off the bat, I can tell that a lot of you may also resonate with group number 1. We have Lighting the Way. Oh my gosh. You have Loyal Heart. You have Bittersweets with the throat chakra. And out of all 78 tarot cards, the one that wanted to come out to represent your crown, your crowning features, who you are, is the 7 of Wands. Oh my gosh, I love your energy. Such a fighter, such a passionate warrior of a being, and what you're fighting for is lights. You're a light worker. Oh my gosh, you're a light worker, totally. I feel like a lot of you already know this. Okay, you already are aware that you spread love and intelligence, or knowledge, wisdom, good ideas all throughout the planet. You're an incredible helper. Actually, you know what? Let me just read this card to you right now, because we're going to do a lot of reading. I feel like this card, Lighting the Way, is probably one of the most important cards that came out for you to represent your crown and why you're here. So I want to read more into it. This is from the Fairy Wisdom Oracle, and the keyword is illumination. We all wish for guidance and help along the way, yet sometimes guidance comes from within. I want to pause and say, I feel like in past lives, a lot of you were actually spirit guides for other people. You literally acted as many people's spirit guides, and connecting to your own spirit guides, it doesn't feel like they're like above you. They feel like your homies, they feel like your friends, and you may even talk to them and interact with them in that way. And that's totally appropriate. Same thing with deities. I look around at people like worshiping deities and only like pledging themselves to one and all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, I never in my life, I think, put any spirit, any person on a pedestal like that. And I always wondered if there was something weird with me for not wanting to worship deities. I work with deities constantly, all the time, and I don't even attempt to work with new ones. Like, sometimes I'll try to reach out. They come to me. It's a two-way street here, and I always treated them like friends, all differently, because they all have different personalities, but still, I feel like you're surrounded by spirit guides first and foremost, and fairies. I feel that very strongly. Fae energy is very strong in you as well. You've probably spent many past lives as a fae creature, a literal fairy, a spirit helper, like an elemental spirit, nymphs, even mermaid, siren energy very strongly for a lot of you. Very different for all of you though. When we connect to the energy of spirit that resides within each of us, we see clearly what we are to do. Reach for the stars. Allow that communication with spirit to connect you to your highest good. Connecting to spirit is as easy as recognizing that you are already one with the universal power. If you have chosen this card today, it may be telling you that you need to strengthen your trust in your divinity. Ultimately, you are to be the one who shows others the way. Oh my gosh. You hold the light for them as they climb the path of illumination. In order to do so, you must continue your journey in learning and refining your own truth. I want to pause for a second. So in mountain climbing, there has to be someone who sort of pioneers the route up the mountain and sets down all of the like ropes and things like that. Okay. And this person always gets to the trail. Well, first off, they're the ones that make the trail and they get there first, and they set this up so that other people climbing can, you know, have an easy time and know which path is the best path. And it takes a lot of bravery because it's a very dangerous job. And now, listen, I don't know anything personally about mountain climbing. I hike mountains a lot. I've never climbed a mountain. I've just watched a lot of documentaries because, you know, the mountains call to me. Actually, the spirit of mountains itself may be very strongly resonant with you as well. I am definitely feeling that. A lot of you may feel really pulled to nature in general, like mountains, oceans, everything about nature may call to you. A lot of people here definitely are not city people. I can say that for sure. You may have grown up in a city. You may tolerate the city. You may enjoy visiting cities. But I feel like at your heart, at your depth, you're a mountain person. I feel it. Okay. Anyways, where was I going with that? So they have a very dangerous job, one that requires a lot of bravery, also a ton of intelligence and knowledge on how to do that. And I feel like your soul sort of vibrates at a similar wavelength as these people who, you know, set up the mountain trails. You know, you're sort of this pioneer psychologically, spiritually, and you did a lot of field work, you know, for yourself. A lot of you may strongly associate with Chiron, the wounded healer, and you had to go through a lot of your own healing and challenges and problems and sort of overcome that, claw your way out of that life scenario in order to help other people do the same thing. And it was through your own treachery, your own traumas, and raising your own vibration, healing on your journey, that you gained the knowledge on how to help other people heal as well. So a lot of you early in life were dealt very crappy cards, I feel. Like you may have had to go through a lot to sort of remember in this lifetime that your soul is very much a pioneer. Actually, I'm seeing a very specific image of stars being born, like literally in the sky, okay? Literal stars and galaxies expanding, being born. You know, we're in a very expansive universe. And I feel, this may sound really, really weird. This has never come through in a reading ever, I think. At least not one of mine. And I feel like you may have past lives as literal galaxies. Like literally stars and planets, an entire solar system. Yeah. Like I said, I know that may sound crazy, but everything has a spirit in reality. You know, stars, galaxies, they have spirits, they have personalities, they have their own zest. You know, your home has a spirit, you have a spirit, your dog has a spirit, you know, your computer, your phone, they have spirits, your ideas, their individual spirits, everything. Okay. And I feel like you literally were a solar system. Moving on. Let's get back to what we were reading. Did we even finish reading this? Where did I even leave off? Oh my gosh. You hold the light as for others as they climb the path of illumination. Yeah, I feel like you're oh my god, that makes so much sense as to why you were literally stars in the past too, because, you know, in the ye old days, before there were GPS and even street lights, people had to look to the stars as maps for navigating, especially in the ocean, because there's no landmarks. You have to look at the stars to see which direction you're going in. And I literally, like, it all comes together in this lifetime. I'm also seeing past lives as literal, like, sailors and explorers, pioneers, adventurers, map makers, things like that. Crazy stuff. Oh my gosh. And you know what the funny thing is? You have past lives doing this, you know, looking to the stars for guidance, and at the same exact time the stars that you're looking to for guidance are also you. You're reflecting yourself back to you. Isn't that crazy? That's wild. All right. Anyways, I don't know which star galaxy you are, but you're one of them. There's billions, an uncounted amount. So there you have it. Ultimately, you are the one that shows others the way. You hold the light for them as they climb the path of illumination. In order to do so, you must continue your own journey in learning and refining your own truth. It is only through example that we can change our world, one person at a time. But if enough people hold the light in enough places, we can bring about change at a much more advanced rate. This angel holds the lantern for all to see, so that anyone who wishes to climb the path can better see the footholds and avoid the pitfalls. She has reached the highest peak. Her face shows that she takes her job seriously. Guidance can come in many forms: the words of a friend or loved one, or of professional counselor. Some of you guys may actually be professional counselors or therapists, psychiatrists, things like that. Or literally just a good friend. Or, advisor of some sort, psychic advisor, some of you. I don't know why, I feel like I frequently, like a really big chunk of my audience are also psychics and mediums and people like that. Comes through all the time. Or you have some sort of connection to that, even if it's not your profession. All right, she takes her job seriously. Guidance comes in many forms. Guidance can come from a book or stranger's words. Yeah, you really can spread your energy in so many different ways. Some of you may write, some of you may sing, musicians, artists, things like that. And you're helping heal the world. And you know what? That light that you're spreading, whether it be wisdom or advice or whatever, inspiration, that spreads to other people. And then they spread it to other people, and before you know it, it creates a gigantic chain of light in the entire world, which helps evolution take place. So you're doing your part in humanity and evolution and Earth. All right, listen to what information comes your way, then sit with it and meditate on it. You will get a sense as to whether it is valid for you or not. If you're open and willing to hear the truth, you may be destined to teach or counsel others. That's your crown, guys, teaching and counseling others. Even if it's not professional, I feel like you do this just naturally. That was one thing I had to learn growing up, actually. I constantly gave advice to people. It's just who I am. I'm a natural problem solver. So any of my friends and family, they would have problems that I would be able to see crystal clear as day. I've just always had that ability, and I always gave people advice on how to fix it, and that advice was right almost 100% of the time. I would say 100. I can't think of a single time where my advice or guidance to other people was inaccurate, straight up. I mean, now it's a little bit different when it comes to me listening to my own advice, as I'm sure it is for everyone, but I had to learn that the people around me did not necessarily want my advice. I think it was part of my personal destiny that my friends and family would get offended with me trying to help them and solve all of their problems. Because, them getting frustrated with me and not having to hold my tongue all the time is actually what drove me to end up making these YouTube channels and doing this professionally. Because I'm I just feel like I have to get this out there. I just feel like I have to teach and give advice. It's like a gas bubble within me that needs to come out somehow, some way. And I feel like you're very similar in that regard. So you're definitely a light worker. I mean, she literally is holding the lantern, very similar to the hermit in the tarot. I feel like you do it with a lot of passion too. With the Seven of Wands, you're frequently, and the Panther, oh my god, you are frequently a massive defender of people, especially people who are wronged. Okay, you are 110% against things like, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia, transphobia, any of the phobias. You're massively against it. If you're not, you definitely select the wrong group. I don't know what to tell you, because this is 100%. I feel this for group number 2. You are protector of the, not the weak, they're not weak, you're protector of the misunderstood and the people who are frequently targeted unrightly, So beautiful energy there. I want to read to you what this temple card means because this is also deep. And your entire reading so far is singing in perfect harmony. Like all of the cards go together so perfectly, and it's painting a very clear picture of who you are. So let's dive into it. The temple is also known as the sanctuary, the shrine, and the altar. When we think of the temple, we often envision an architectural structure in a far-off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet the temple is a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and the lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensually kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshiping? Your phone, money, material goods? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is room on your altar for something new, something surprising, offered to the heavens. And your light attributes is having this reverence for all that is, and viewing life as this sanctuary, and constantly tuning into this temple energy. You don't need church. You don't need someone to tell you what spirit or God is saying. You don't need someone else to give you this feeling. You can create this at any moment in your day, and that is your superpower. Okay, whether it is, oh my gosh, I'm just getting this spiritual ecstasy, this temple feeling, the same feeling that someone who's like religious would get from having a powerful experience in a church. You can access that literally at any given moment in your life. I'm saying like you personally are really good at doing that and creating that sort of atmosphere for other people as well. I feel like you experience this energy with something as simple as like eating really juicy blueberries and sipping on like a nice tea or coffee. You're in church, you're at the temple when that happens. Or when it's summer and the sun is on your skin and a really nice breeze comes by, temple. Right here, right now, pause this video, get into that energy. I guarantee you will be able to do it. Even if you just close your eyes and breathe and, oh my gosh, I'm seeing like looking out across a living room or something, and the sunlight's pouring in and it's illuminating the dust in the air. Temple energy. Smelling a book. Temple energy. Oh my gosh. Getting all cozied up in a blanket. Temple energy. Giving your cat a little kiss on the forehead. Temple energy. I feel like you experience spiritual ecstasy so much easier than so many other people. It reminds me of, who's that actor? Not Cameron Diaz. I feel like I'm getting deja vu. I feel like I had this exact moment in another reading a few weeks ago. It's just like when you've gone through so many hardships in life and you came out on the other side of it, it's like life becomes so much sweeter. It's like your sensitivity to happiness becomes a lot more sensitive as well, And this is actually something I learned in a psychology class one time. It's like people who have a lot of privilege and a really, really, really easy life tend to get more easily triggered at sort of smaller things going wrong, as opposed to people who had really difficult lives. People who had really difficult lives, for example, are not the people who are going to be yelling at their baristas and cashiers. People who have extremely privileged lives. And listen, there's nothing wrong with privilege. Let me get that straight. There is nothing wrong with privilege when you identify that you have that privilege, okay? and you recognize that you have that privilege. But I don't know. I feel like if you select the group number 2, you've experienced life with a great deal of challenges. And because of that, you're extremely sensitive to, first off, everything. Like your psychic abilities are very strong. but also like ecstasy and happiness. You know, you get so much joy from like the smallest of things because you have experienced what life was like without it. You know, people, for example, who may have grown up food insecure, not always having access to food, they're not picky eaters. They probably love food more than most people do. You know, that's just a dumb example, but you get the point. We have loyal heart coming out for you as well. And let's read this from the book. I know for a fact that you guys are so amazing in relationships and friendships. Like, you're a fantastic friend. I feel like you just radiate this sort of kindness, this sweetness to everyone around you. Also, you're fierce. Like, you're a ride or die. You would defend someone. You would like absolutely fight for someone who you know is in the right, someone who you love. I'm also seeing past lifetimes as literal warriors. You know, you've been to war in past lives, defending like a king or queen. I am seeing that. And I know a lot of you probably do not identify with that. Like, you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know. I'm more of like a peaceful person. Yeah, I know. You're this peaceful person because being a peaceful person in this lifetime is harmonizing and balancing your soul. And those past lives where you were panthers and fierce warriors and this sort of like violent but for loving reasons type of person, you know, you're restoring harmony and balance in this lifetime by focusing a lot on healing and growing and sustaining and protecting. It's a beautiful balance. Evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove that they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you, no matter the outer circumstances in your life. Trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. Wow. Another thing that I'm seeing here is a stubbornness. It's like you have a goal, especially with the Panther Spirit. Oh my God. And Seven of Wands, loyal heart. Like, you have a goal for what you want in life, and you are never going to give up on that. There's no plan B for you. There's only success. A lot of you may be, not all of you, but a lot of you may be type A type of personalities where it's like you strive for perfection and you strive every day to learn more, be more, do better, etc. Some of you have very long-term goals and you're not afraid of like continuously going after them. Failure after failure, challenge after challenge. You don't give up. Like I said, there's no plan Bs for you. There's only plan A or death. Very dramatic. I also just saw 222. Oh my God. I saw 2222 on the camera timer. Then I glance over at my laptop and I see 123. It's the time. 1:23 in the morning. Y'all are crazy. Bittersweet. I feel like one of the main reasons that you came into this lifetime was to experience relationships. So for a great deal of your life, you know, you'll find yourself in and out of relationships and friendships and family connections. It seems to be the biggest focal point in this lifetime for you is your relationships with others, as well as your relationship with self, but mostly your relationships to others. And I'm also seeing you have a ton of soulmates that incarnated with you, a ton. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a vision as well. In a past life, you were some sort, like I said, a warrior, right? But you were like a leader. Okay, so you may have had like your own, I don't know what they're called, like squadron, platoon, what are they called? Like you were leading like a little troop, you know, of people who you were extremely close with. You know, like family almost. And you led them. And there was so much love, even though it was violent, even though there was blood and war and all of that, like there was also so much love. The reason you were there fighting whatever the heck this war was for love, was for protection and, you know, home. And I feel like almost all of those people in that past life that were following you reincarnated with you in this lifetime And one of your goals of this lifetime is to just hang out with them and get to know them better, like as a soul, in circumstances that are a lot less dire. Get to know them and just have fun and play and see what they're all about. While also all of you sort of healing from that karma of being in that situation and balancing this world out, keeping the balance of this world by promoting peace and love and harmony. Things like music and art and fashion, things like that, not war and violence and blood and guts, which is really, really beautiful. You are definitely an extremely wise and highly vibrational being. I don't know why I'm seeing a little bit of elf energy as well. Anyways, let's dive into it. I feel like you also came into this life because it's like you just want to experience the fullness of human love, heartbreak, ecstasy, passion, suffering, all of it. The melodrama, the bittersweetness, the duality of this life. Oh my gosh, exactly, guys. 10 of water, 10 of cups. This confirms absolutely you're here to enjoy relationships and family and just have fun with them peacefully. We have the fat Buddha, the happy Buddha here, which represents allowing yourself to experience joy and pleasure. And, within that peace and harmony and balance of life, the 10 of Cups in tarot represents our soul family, our soul connection. You came to connect with them. You have a very large soul family, I'm seeing as well. A lot of you had so many past lives, and even like in between lives, it's this sort of free-floating spirit that went wherever you wanted. Like you made a lot of friends, a lot of soulmates. And even in this lifetime, I feel like you're making new soulmates with new souls, who you may not normally connect with. Anyways, some of you may amass some sort of following in this lifetime, or like leadership, popularity in general, either a following, popularity in general, some sort of leadership position perhaps in your job. All of your lives are different, so you could just be a popular person. You can literally be like a famous artist or creator of some sort, athlete, something like that, or just in your career and position be a very high up person that a lot of people literally follow orders from. You know what I mean? There's something like that coming through. I feel like a lot of you are frequently leaders wherever you go in the universe, or wherever you incarnate or travel to. You frequently are this torch carrier, this makes so much sense. Everything just clicked in my mind right now. Oh my gosh. Remember how I was saying you literally have a past life as like this star, this sort of like solar system galaxy thing, and the universe is constantly expanding, and I sort of saw you being born as this like new part of the universe itself, literally contributing to the creation of the universe. This makes so much sense. That star system, that galaxy is your soul, literally. And your soul vibrates at the location in the tapestry of life that is all about expansion, pioneering, growth. And that is why you are frequently a leader in this human life, in this world, in Earth. When you're born as a human, you are frequently a leader. You are frequently someone who's very innovative. A lot of you may be a cardinal sign, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. You don't have to be, though. Frequently filled with good ideas, creative ideas, and initiating these ideas. Even in your friend group, you may be the one that comes up with most of the jokes or most of the ideas for like fun things out. Not afraid to voice, your ideas and things. You may have been afraid at one point in your life. You may have been shyer when you were younger, but overcame that, or, you definitely have a leader, a pioneer within you. Oh my gosh, it's all making so much sense now. See, for group number 1, which you may actually resonate with as well, their soul seemed to vibrate at a place of like being on the bridge of everything, like life and death, and being completely balanced. like at the center of all. And for you, you could be at that place, but I'm seeing your soul is more so on like the outer edge, the rim, the hedge of life, constantly expanding what it means to be a human, or expanding the universe, literally, expanding the galaxies, expanding what is known on Earth by channeling in creative ideas from other places that come through your imagination and your mind. Oh my gosh, pioneer. You also had the Two of Air come out in reverse here, which actually shows a sort of hesitation, a sort of sitting back and like seeing where the cards lay, seeing how other people feel. I feel like you're a really great listener, and you can bring out that energy that we just talked about in other people, because we all have a wee bit of creator, pioneering energy in us. Your soul predominantly operates at that energy. And like I said in group number 1, energy is contagious, and like energy brings out and attracts like energy in other people. So you bring out the pioneer in other people. I feel like other people, you may notice they feel more confident around you. Someone can be completely shy, afraid to speak up, and then it's like there's something about your energy where it's like they'll talk to you, they'll open up to you in ways they never opened up to other people before. You just have a really great energy about you that makes other people feel more confident in themselves. And I feel like similar to a therapist would like sort of not necessarily give advice, but bring out the advice and the intuition that person already knows to be true deep within. And they bring that out through certain listening techniques and pointed questions. I feel like your soul kind of operates at that sort of frequency where you bring out the pioneer, the leader within people, even people who are not great leaders or pioneers, you know what I mean? And it's simply because that's who you are, Your only mission on Earth, everyone's only mission, is to simply be themselves. Okay, if we all just were our authentic self, everything would be perfectly harmonized and balanced. We have the 8 of Earth coming out in reverse. Technically, in a way, everything is always harmonized and balanced, but we're not going to dive into that. Working towards some sort of skill, education, learning, repetition may be important for you in this lifetime. Some of you, like I said, are teachers. We have the Magician. Oh my gosh. Very spiritually powerful. The Magician is also that divine creator, that innovator. He has an idea that was literally channeled from spirit, from other realms, from other places, and he brings it down into physical reality. A lot of you are creative, like literally creators. You may write stories, writing. I'm seeing writing, I'm seeing music, I'm seeing art, I'm seeing fashion, like just general creativity. Even like initiating a certain life path for yourself and events for people. Your soul is at home when you're creatively expanding. Your soul operates at a similar frequency to the number 3, if that makes sense to anyone who's in numerology. Let's see what else comes out. We have the moon spirits following that strong intuition of yours. We have the Hierophant in reverse. Yes. If there was any card in the tarot to represent the pioneer, the one who marches to the beat of their own drum, the one who is their own teacher, their own guru, it's the Hierophant in reverse specifically. Yeah, guys, literally, this is such big confirmation. You're a major leader for people, leader of your own home as well, your family. You're sort of like the social glue in a lot of situations as well. Even if you're not like introverted, still like you're the social glue in a lot of places, a lot of scenarios. And then you had the King of Water, exactly. If I had to pick a court card to describe this energy, it would be the King of Cups, King of Water. Very creative, very spiritually connected, expansive, formless, beautiful. Oh my gosh. A lot of you may also be connected to the ocean and the moon. Well, we already talked about that. You know, I was saying earlier, you guys resonate with mountain energy, all of nature energy, the oceans included, everything. Oh my God. Of course you're connected to the ocean. You had past lives as that, as sailors. Yeah, and navigators, of course. The ocean, the stars, the moon, even, the mountains and traveling, traversing, creating maps, things like that. You've done it all in past lives. Which is why you're so heavily, heavily, heavily connected to nature and natural places. I feel like your soul chooses to incarnate as species on planets that are very natural as well, like natural as in, plants and just, I don't know how else to put it. There's other spiritual realms and places that are very much not natural, in a sort of like earthly way, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense right now. Listen, it's almost 2:00 in the morning, and I noticed that the later I read, the more insanely deep these readings get. To a point where, like, those who get it, and those who don't just think I'm crazy. So that's fine. And you know what? You guys may have a similar feeling. People who get you. People who don't might think you're a little nuts, but that's okay. That's okay. That means you're pretty cool, I think. But yeah, beautiful soul. That, you're extremely powerful, guys. I hope you know that. Literally, you are expanding the universe. Okay? You are that powerful. You are literally a creator of galaxies and realities. I'm getting a really specific message here. Someone watching may have unexplained dreams periodically throughout your life. Not frequently, but periodically throughout your life, where some sort of either spirit or alien creature asks you or tries to get you to be a god somewhere else. That's really specific. And I'm gonna leave it there. If you have had that dream, definitely comment down below, because that would be insane. And the reason why you're having that dream, if you're the person who's having that dream, is because you are expanding the universe. You are literally creating reality. I mean, to some degree we all are. But like I said earlier, this is predominantly your soul's energy. So you are extremely powerful. And you're shaping this world to be whatever you want it to be. That's powerful stuff. And the more you consciously awaken to this fact, the more insane and crazy your manifestations will be. Like, I'm not even joking. You can change the world quite easily. That is your power. I don't think it's sinking in to the degree that I'm trying to make it sink in for most of you. For some of you, it's sinking into that level, but we'll leave it there, okay? Thank you guys for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want personal reading with me, one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome. What crowns you? Who are you? Why are you here? What is your power? Etc. Let's see what comes out. Your archetype is the Queen. Oh my gosh. The perfect archetype for this reading. And you know what's funny? I've had this deck for quite a bit. I don't use it super frequently, but I don't think this card has ever come out in a reading of mine, ever. So this is a first. And the number 11 may be significant. Okay? Which is funny because I'm filming this at 2:00 in the morning on the 11th. We have the camel spirit coming out. Oh my gosh. I'm getting visions already of past lives as, this is going to sound weird, but librarians and scholars, writers, people who are addicted to education, knowledge, history, wisdom. You can't get enough of it. I think you're thoroughly addicted to knowledge, to wisdom, to the Akashic records. I feel like you frequently incarnate not only just as a human, but as many different spirits from many different planes of existence and planets, simply to learn and experience everything there is that you can learn at that time. It's almost like you're this sort of spiritual time traveler. What if for a vacation you could go to another period of time for a little bit? Or you can experience life on a different plane of reality. Like, for example, like you can go on vacation and be in the Harry Potter universe and go to Hogwarts when all those characters went there, and you just went on vacation. That's what it was like. That's what life was like for you on vacation. Try to visualize that, okay? And then you came back to this life, your normal life. I feel like, this may sound crazy to some, but I feel like that's why you're here in this world, on vacation, wanting to soak up as many experiences and places and knowledge that this time period on Earth, in this plane of existence, and just what it has to offer. I feel like your soul is a powerful queen, obviously, or king, and scholar, student of life. We have coffee break coming out, and I'm going to go deeper into all these cards so you get a better understanding of them. We have time to go coming out, and we have renewal with the root chakra. Yes, you guys love coming to Earth. I don't feel like this is necessarily your soul's home, though. I feel like this is like almost one of your favorite vacation spots. We have justice coming out as the tarot card to represent your crowning energy. Out of all 78 cards, the one that wanted to come out to represent you is justice, which is a beautiful card, by the way. Oh my gosh, we're going to read all about this and sort of see how these cards are singing in harmony with each other. Let's read about the crown, also known as the Empress, the Mother Queen, the Sovereign. Like her counterpart, the King, the Queen has a dualistic nature. Either she presides over the realm with grace and eloquence that comes from the heavens to uplift the spirit of others, or she falls into petty, contemptuous moods, casting a shadow across the land. If the king is the ego, then the queen is the expression of that ego in the world. She is the lotus's blossom, the dancer's bow, the moon's radiant reflection. Ooh, I need to pause. I just got like a vision paired with a feeling of like sometimes in between lifetimes, when you're just like floating around being a spirit, a free spirit, you merge your energy, your soul with things like the moonlight shining onto a meadow. And this is like something I'm feeling. It's really hard to describe. You merge your spirit with like, I don't even know, like the spirit of entire forests and like the smell of, that prosperous, fertile soil coming up. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's like something that's like happening within me right now that I'm feeling from you. I feel like your spirit is a shapeshifter. You literally can just so easily blend your energy in with other spirits, other souls, other energies. And you just go around and you love experiencing all these different types of spirits and planets and existences and knowledge and wisdom. And like you love just expanding your soul in that way. Very expansive. And I feel like this manifests itself in this lifetime as you being able to really just talk to anyone and fit in sort of anywhere. Like you can relate to pretty much anyone and anything, and you probably, for example, guaranteed, if you select the group number 3, you like almost all genres of music. Like you see the value in almost all genres of music. You see the pros and cons of like every location on the planet, and you don't necessarily maybe identify super duper strongly with any one place. It's like, yeah, you could see yourself living pretty much anywhere because you understand that everywhere has its pros and cons. a lot of you might be very frequent travelers. If not currently, that may be in your future though. Yeah, oh my gosh, I love your energy so much. When the queen is seated in her rightful and righteous place, she is patient and forgiving. She waits for the grace of God and goddess to move through her, striving and grasping for nothing. To be the benevolent leader, to embody the queen, is to settle into a deep trust, resolve, and power. The royal queen fears nothing, for divinity itself cradles her heart. Your light attributes are being the embodiment of grace, courage, resolve, and stillness. Wow. And during some of your more shadowy moments in life, you may experience vanity, wrathfulness, self-righteousness, and being demanding. Crazy. I love your energy, guys. Oh my gosh, you're just these adventurers, these explorers, these shapeshifters. And it's hard to pin you down because you're a shapeshifter spirit. Okay. It's like, also weirdly enough, I feel like you're a really strong vessel for like source energy to come through. It's like sometimes words just come out of your mouth that don't necessarily belong to you, but belong to like a higher power. You know, it's like you're also frequently a lot of people's mirror. You know, you mirror parts of their souls that they need to see. Wow. I almost feel like you might be one of those rare people who, oh, wow. I was going to say who have a clear aura, but then I started getting a vision in my head of like a reflective aura. Wow, your energy's crazy. Very, very special and unlike anything I've seen before. And I feel like your soul is so old and has had almost every experience possible. Like I said, you're very connected to the Akashic Records, which if you're unfamiliar is essentially the history of everything that has ever existed in the universe. And as you can imagine, with that being said, your soul is ever expansive and extremely multifaceted. Every single person that you meet brings out a completely different aspect of your personality. And the part of the personality that comes out with different people are reflections of themselves. Now, this is where it gets trippy. Because you're frequently reflections of your environment, the people around you, etc. And not in like a hollow way, in a very full way. Because your soul is like massive and just contains so much information. Sometimes it might be hard for you. You may have struggled at points in your life just knowing who you actually are. Who am I really? And that's a hard question to answer. I'm going to be honest with you. Who am I really? See, in these higher planes of existence, ego does not exist. Names don't exist. People are just energy. And if I could describe the vision I'm getting of like your pure spirit, like separate from this life that you're in right now, it's this massive, massive ball of energy that is just reflective on the outside. But what I'm seeing is not quite like 3 or even 4 or even like 5th dimensional. It's like indescribable in human words. Just this rotating in weird ways, like energy moving in and out of each other and containing so much information and experiences and lifetimes as so many different things like animals, people, spiritual aliens, fae, like gods and goddesses, angelic beings, literally everything. Okay, which is why I was kind of trying to say that like you're a really good channel. You're a really like open vessel for source energy, spirit energy, God energy to communicate with other people, because you're really connected to that frequency of all that is. You're really connected to that frequency of like everything in existence. And with that being said, things like really defining who you are in human words may be difficult for you. And things like labels, describing yourself, who you are as a soul, may be very, very difficult for you. Crazy. I hope that made sense. All right, let's move on. I want to read what the coffee break card means for you. The key word is appreciation. Sit back and appreciate your life. Relax with a cup of coffee or tea and make a point of consciously bringing to mind all that you have to be grateful for. Consider your blessings, a place to sit, a cup to drink from, a drink to enjoy. What could be better? Gaze upon your surroundings and see all that is around you. Are you not truly blessed? This fairy would love to have a leisurely cup with you. So often we take for granted what we have. It's time to live in a constant state of gratitude. Gratitude plays a big part in the process of attracting what you desire into your life. Gratitude tells the universe that you are ready to welcome more good into your life. It is a vital part of your manifestation process. I want to pause and say, when you truly live in the present moment, being grateful, having gratitude, is just synonymous with living life. Okay, like it's when we're longing for something that we don't have, whether it's past or present, that we're no longer in the same frequency as gratitude. And this is a really simple fix. You know, all you have to do is focus on what you do have. And, you know, I kind of don't like the word gratitude, to be honest, because when we think of the word gratitude, we think of things like making gratitude lists and just being so belligerently happy that we have something that we didn't have before. You know, I don't think it's a good word. I don't think it describes anything that needs to be described in general. I think gratitude, true gratitude, is pretty much the same thing as just living in the present moment, focusing on what you currently do have. You know, even if what you do have is challenges to overcome, you know, focusing on that instead of procrastinating that by focusing on, you know, all the goals and dreams that you have, thinking about them, daydreaming about them, but doing nothing about them, you know. When you finally do something about them in the present moment, you're in a state of gratitude because you are taking advantage of what is in front of you. You're not letting it go to waste. You know, you may have an abundance of ideas to ponder and take action on currently. You may not have a lot of friends, you may not have a lot of money, but you have a lot of ideas. And when you focus on that, instead of crying over what you don't have, again, state of gratitude. Beautiful. And I feel like when you get to that point in your life where you are consciously choosing, like making the conscious decision, I'm going to focus on what I do have, not on what I don't have, you are really going to tune into your crown energy. And your life is going to transform rapidly. Like, I think that was the missing ingredient that may have been causing a lot of challenges for you in the past. It's time to live in a constant state of gratitude. Gratitude plays a big part in the process of attracting what you desire into your life. Gratitude tells the universe that you are ready to welcome more good into your life. It is a vital part of your manifestation process. To reach the state of gratitude, you need to stop and place yourself in a receptive state of mind. Relax and calmly consider your life and all that you have been blessed with. Whatever thoughts you think are reflected in your body. Wow. So it is important to take these small breaks and to just sink into serenity. Remember to take the time to relax and rejuvenate. Be sure to notice even the smallest blessings that surround you. A wonderful fragrance on the wind. A butterfly flying by. A baby's smile and laugh. The most subtle sigh. You can find a blessing in everything in your world. Just be open to it. Yeah, I feel like that's your crowning feature that you're going to have to step into. It's something you're going to have to remember and, you know, consciously choose to do again in this lifetime. You know what came to my mind as I was reading that? Have any of you ever read or watched the Twilight series? Your energy kind of reminds me of Jasper. Jasper was this vampire, and his special ability was that he can read the emotions of others, and he can also change the emotions of others or reflect those emotions back to them and amplify them. And I feel like that's you. You're sort of like this gigantic disco ball of a spirit. It's like you reflect other people's lights and shadows right back at them. And so it's important for your own personal well-being, guys, that who you choose to be your closest companions in life, the people who you interact with the most, they should be bringing out the good energies within you, okay? Because that's just how your soul operates. If you're around negative people, your shadow attributes will come out for sure, you know? And you know what? Those shadow attributes are definitely going to reflect back to those people, and they're going to see what he's healing within themselves. So in a way, you're healing everyone just by existing. You're helping everyone just by existing. If they're conscious enough to see that they see themselves in you, you're just reflecting their energy back. It's an incredible power that you have, really. I feel like you sort of came here. How do I put it? You're a shapeshifter. So you came here on like a sort of vacation to enjoy this time period, fit in to it in your own unique way, of course. But anywhere you go in the universe, you reflect. It's crazy. I hope I described that in a good way. I'm just going to stop trying to go down that rabbit hole. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm moving on. All right, let's read about time to go. You are at the end of one journey and have not begun the next. This is a moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. This is what I'm saying. Your soul literally travels from place to place just to experience the fun, thrilling, exciting circumstances of like new stuff. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. You know what? I just got the message that like, there's nothing left for you to do, be, or experience because your soul has literally done it all. You've experienced God frequency, which is everything that exists. And so it's like you've done everything. You've been everyone. And what have you learned from the heartbreak, the love, the duality of life is to just be peaceful, to just enjoy the present moment for all that exists. This is something that sounds so simple, speaking it in human words out loud. But again, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. There's like a deeper meaning to this message here. It's like you've experienced so much pain, anguish, heartbreak, love, beauty, ecstasy, the complete duality of everything. You experienced the God frequency. It's shown light on literally everything. So what else is there for your soul to do? Just relax and enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy the ride, and that's how you experience this sort of nirvana state that a lot of people talk about, breaking out of the cycle of reincarnation and suffering. How do you do it? And in my opinion, you do it by no longer trying to break out of the state of pain and suffering and just sitting back and relaxing and being at peace with the ebbs and flows of life. That sends you straight into a state of nirvana and tunes you into the inner peace and love and connection and God frequency that is within all of us. And I feel like this is sort of your destiny in this lifetime. This is your crown, this God frequency that we're talking about. Your crown, your power, on a sort of lower level, let's scale it back a little bit, is to shapeshift your energy, literally. And wherever you go, you reflect that energy back to you. And it brings out that different part of your personality. So consciously, you could use this to your advantage by surrounding yourself with people who bring out the qualities within yourself that you just simply want to experience in the present moment, whatever that may be. If you want to be someone who is a frequent traveler, someone who's an adventurer, easily you can do that by surrounding yourself with people who are also like that. it's easier for you to do than for other people because this is your predominant energy of this shapeshifter, this reflector, this being who has so much experience that they simply just reflect whatever their surroundings are back to them. But it's not like a hollow thing. It sounds so hollow when I talk about it, but it's so much deeper than that, I promise. All right, where was I? There's nothing left for you to do or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in a transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, if you really want to wear your crown and be in your power, pay close attention, conscious attention to whom and what you surround yourself with. Because you can manifest everything that your heart desires in this lifetime by simply paying attention to that. And I just saw 2222 on the timer. Crazy. Okay, that's confirmation. All right, and then you have renewal with the root chakra. I feel like you just enjoy coming back to Earth. Literally, the planet. All right, we have the 9 of Earth, speaking of, which is contentment, happiness, beauty, peace, fulfillment with life. You also had the 7 of water. You feel very indecisive. A lot of you may have like ADHD or something where it's like you constantly feel like you have to get into new things, try new things, learn new things. Very daydreamy as well. I'm low-key in love with your energy. Like, you are literally everything. I hope you know that. You are literally everything. And I just got a weird message that because your soul is gigantic, because your soul is tuned into this sort of God source energy, whatever you want to call it. There was a card that flipped over. Now I can't find it. Your spirit, your soul, your energy is sort of like the stem cell of energies. Okay. And I literally think you are like the perfect channel of this pure source energy. And it's like, when people are around you, whatever it is that their spirit, that their current present day reality needs, your energy radiates that to them. Okay? And oftentimes that can be difficult for you because sometimes that energy is like tough lessons, tough love, or more shadowy elements of your personality has to come through for certain people in order for them to sort of, I guess, get whatever they need, learn whatever they need from your energy. Okay? I just dropped a card on the ground. It was the Ace of Air in reverse. And, I can imagine how this can be difficult for you at various points in your life. I just want to say, like, if you're ever uncomfortable with what your energy feels like around certain people, you are behind no moral or spiritual contract or obligation to stick around and deliver messages to people or be the person that they need you to be. Like, you don't have any spiritual contracts saying that you need to heal anyone on this planet. I just want to say that first and foremost, okay? And your soul radiates this source energy, this like stem cell like energy that goes exactly wherever people need it. Your personality not changes, but like different aspects of your personality, your shadow sides and your light sides come out depending on who the heck you're around. And if you're ever uncomfortable with who you are around a certain person or how they're perceiving you or what they see in you, you don't need to stick around. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not your job to heal everyone on this planet. Okay, so, and like I said, you're this sort of stem cell of energy, so you're still healing just by existing. Go to the people who you enjoy being around, who bring out the better parts of your personality, who you enjoy. I feel like you've done more than enough already. sticking around people who brought out the shadowy elements of your personality, and then they left the relationship, the connection, better off because of it. You know what I mean? It's weird. We have the 9 of Fire reversed. This reading was probably one of the most difficult to explain using human words, guys. Like, I hope you understood. If you did, let me know in the comments. Please let me know. If this sounds like a bunch of gibberish, I apologize. All right, we have the 9 of Fire in reverse. And you know what it is? Other people are reflections of you as well. Just pieces of you, though. We have the Star. And we have the 5 of Fire. Really interesting, yeah. I feel like people often get triggered around you. You know, it's like you make people confident, but like people also can get really triggered around you as well, because like I said, it's like looking in a mirror sometimes. You're perfectly still and you perfectly reflect energies back to people. It's so fascinating. And again, you don't have to stick around if people get really argumentative and weird. We have the Star, we have the Queen. I do sense royalty in past lives of yours. Okay, really powerful past lives. Oh my gosh, because your spirit, your soul, like we said, is already a powerhouse. It's already nuts. It's crazy. You have crazy energy, like in a good way. So in your past lives, where you were literally a major leader in the planet, oh my god. Like, probably you've had past lives as some of the most memorable people in history. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not even saying that to like tickle your fancy or anything. Like, and with the Star as well, yeah, a lot of people relate to you. It's because they see themselves in you, their light side and their shadow side, you know? But because of that same quality, a ton of people love you. So if any of you in group number 3 ever like want like a large audience, or to be famous for whatever reason, or like just popular in general, that potential is 100% there. Okay, I'm just letting you know, if you want it. If you want it. You have a restless soul. I feel like you'll have many different careers and creative ideas, and like I said, there's not enough time in one lifetime to live all of the ideas that you want and all the experiences that you want. I think you're just vibing. You're just someone who like has fun. You're perpetually on vacation, like throughout your existence, not even just in this lifetime, but it translates into this lifetime as well. You may be a perma vacationer, like trying to cultivate a lifestyle that you don't need to take a vacation from. It's just experiencing life is your vacation. Your energy is so cool. And you know what? Again, it's so weird because I feel like in the beginning of your life, like in childhood, it felt so opposite for some reason. Like shyness may have been a thing, not believing in yourself, doubting yourself, crazy. And this whole new like renewal process happened within you that had you remembering who you are and why you're here. Oh my gosh. Group number 3, I can tell all of you enjoy traveling. Like that's just who you are. Traveling, learning, experiencing. All right, I'm gonna leave your reading off there because I feel like we've come to a natural ending, natural close. You guys are crazy. Like you literally, your crown, man, your power is reflecting people's energy back to them, and like 99% of the time that makes people fall in love with you, by the way. Unless people low-key hate themselves, and then you know there's a huge problem. So that's the thing, people either love you or hate you, you know? Your personality is not one set thing. It's this literally multi-dimensional thing that is massive, and you have a lot of personality. That's what I'm trying to say. That is your crown. That is your gift. You are this adventurer soul. You are the mirror of the universe, the reflector. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there. So check it out. Bye bye.